Welcome everybody. I am Paul Python Love. This is the BPL show 2.0. We got two special guests tonight. I want to let them both introduce themselves because they both came up with names behind stage. So you two would like to introduce yourselves.
You did?
Did we? I'm
my breath.
I'm Brian Whiskey, and you're Matt Cigar.
And that's Matt Cigar.
I thought that's what it said on. I thought that said that on the title of the video.
You're Brian Kusko, the whiskey.
Oh, it's there. I didn't. Okay, so that title was from a live stream I was on. That was a while ago. I was on the Stuff and Whiskey had a blind tasting thing, and I think they used StreamYard, and that was my title from back then. I think that's what happened. But I can tell you, the secret guest. I was super excited to see who the secret guest was, and then I went to go check the feed, and it wasn't a secret anymore. I saw.
I told him the next day I was going to show him on the thumbnail, so made you just think for a day. I guess pretty much it was just a.
I'm here.
That's all right. I really do like surprises, but
not this kind of surprise. What are you saying?
Well, it's not a surprise.
It's the best surprise ever.
Oh. In a way, until I gave it away.
Oh, you want to squirrel? I'll squirrel you.
Listen to that. Freaking
Getting dizzy, Brian.
That's all I got.
All right, let's see what happens.
Listen for it.
Oh, that was lame. Gosh, I'm just gonna put this away.
It came out louder on the mic.
It did though. It was pretty loud.
It just had a weird sound. Oh, it's a 1 liter bottle. That's why it's a whole liter. That's that Sinatra stuff. Sinatra Select.
Nice.
Back before alcohol companies weren't sponsoring necessarily like musical artists like they do now, Sinatra is like he put Jack Daniels on the map back in the day, and they're paying tribute to him, long after he had deserved it, I think is what's happening.
Okay. So welcome everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight's show, but I'm going to start with the first question. Kusko, let's go back 4 years. Indonesia, right?
1, 2, 3, 4.
You were there hanging out with Brian Barczyk, and I know you did a lot of Brian. But while in Indonesia, what was your favorite moment with Brian Barczyk?
Was it only 4 years ago? Feels like a long time ago at this point. Was it really only 4 years? I swear that was longer than 4 years ago. Oh, damn, tripping. Are we sure? Are we sure that was only 4 years ago? It had to be longer than that.
It might be close to 5, but it said 4 years on the thing.
I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm nitpicking right now. Sorry, but what was the question?
What was your greatest moment with Barczyk over there? Because I know you did the Brian thing a lot, outside of Indonesia as well. But like while in Indonesia, what was your favorite moment?
There were a few for different reasons, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, we did a lot of cool. That was an epic trip. Like there were a lot of little moments that were fantastic, like sharing non-alcoholic beers with Brian while we sat in the backyard of a place that had these epic turtles in the pool and like plowshare tortoises on the roof, like Fly River tortoises in the pool, and we were just sitting there drinking these non-alcoholic beers because Brian doesn't really drink. And that was, I mean, I had all these other ones that came to the front of my head, but then that one popped into my head. That was a pretty cool little just moment. I remember the way he like popped the can and was like, "Cheers, brother." For some reason that stuck in my head. Like his brother with that, with the A, this brother spelled with an A, said out loud, "Cheers, brother." Okay. I don't know why that's popping into my head right now. It's sticking so hard, but I mean, because we found retics in caves in the wild where we had like gone through these jungle hike to a village where we thought at one point we were going to get killed by the locals. And oh yeah, happy birthday, dude! I forgot your birthday today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How old are you?
33.
All right. There was a bunch, dude. Like literally every day was a new moment. Like I watched him get bit on the face by this parrot at a bird sanctuary. And I was already feeling like a little iffy about birds for some reason that day. I was like, I don't know, birds, are we gonna do this? And then Brian's getting bit on the face, and there was the monkeys that were like going all bananas all over us because of our bananas. I really couldn't just nail down one, dude. I got the pet a Komodo dragon and run around inside the enclosure with it while it was chasing chicken down. I mean, dude, freaking. I really can't. That whole trip was just one giant, huge, great moment. That literally, I mean, we were herping for water monitors on a golf course. So I thought they were joking. Like, it was like close to the last day we were there. We've already done this epic stuff. And they're like, for the last day, we're going to go herping on this golf, like at this place. And we pull up on this golf course. And it's like, literally, we're on a golf course rolling on the golf cart, like down the green. And I'm like, what? Is some joke? Are we going to play golf? Like, what is happening here? And we literally step just off the green, and there's these 7-foot water monitors just charging through the bush, and we're trying to crawl through the thorns going after them. And and even at that golf course, like just doing a little like foot slide down the there was a cement like stairway with a little smooth spot next to the stairs, and just kept doing like skateboarding on the feet down that thing. That was fun too. Okay. So I could literally break up every little moment. Forrest complaining about all the food the whole time, like getting super sarcastic about how excited he is again to have chicken and rice for breakfast. All of Forrest's little rants, dude. You like to bring up old memories on these things, don't you? You like to bring back.
It's good times, though, right?
Mostly, yeah.
Mostly, okay. Before I ask the next one, I was told to say something to you, by the way, by a legend, Mr. Brian Gundy. He was on not too long ago, and he said hello, and he told me to tell you that, Brad.
Well, I'm glad you did, because I would have never got that message if you hadn't delivered it.
Okay, cool. Even that you talk to him a lot, but I just want to let you know because I told him I would. So
I saw that he was on recently. That's probably one of the best people you can have on. You should really just kick me and Matt off and get Brian back on. That would probably be good, right, Matt? You agree?
Yeah, I'd say Gundy all the way. Just take me off.
So here's like you said, maybe some more good memories for you, Kusko. Maybe some are bad, but this one really intrigued me. Sewing a rat to a rabbit's face. How did that work out?
We're going in reverse, huh? So eventually we're going to end up at the time that me and my dog knocked over a fence in my grandma's backyard, and I pulled all the flowers out by their stem, set them on the ground so the dog could drag it and run around. We'll just skip all the way, like go back as far as possible as I can remember, and we'll just go there. Because that was definitely before the Indo trip, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that was, I think I came up with that idea on my own. I'm pretty sure it just made sense. Like, so I know what you do now. You go, you have a guest on there, you go scroll through their videos and see what's interesting to talk about. I get it. Yeah, that worked too. It definitely worked because, I had some retics that were having, like, they weren't interested in the rabbit, but they were totally down for the rats that they had been eating as they're smaller and I couldn't get rabbits that were smaller. You can get rabbit kits at places, but my place that I get rabbits from, you can only get them like, pretty decent size, like adults, basically. You can't get young rabbits from the place that I get them. So I was like, what am I going to do? I really want them to eat rabbits, so I'm not feeding these freaking mainland retics rats. And so I was like, well, they'll eat the rat. And I know that snakes, if you attach something, like if you put something else in, I could have just like tried to finagle the rabbit head in behind the rat tail as they're eating it, but it seemed like not a good idea at the time. It seemed a better idea to just sew the rabbit's face to the rat's butt. For anybody that's watching this and hasn't seen that, obviously I didn't do that to a live rat and rabbit. I'm not sick in the head. At least not that sick in the head.
No, it wasn't alive. Neither was.
But it certainly worked. I did it many times, and now all these retics eat rabbits. So, yeah. What was the question?
How did it work out? And it worked out great, apparently, right?
Yeah, okay. I mean,
I was curious because I've never seen anyone do it, and once I saw that, I was like, I have to know this.
Yeah, I don't think I had seen anyone do it. I think I maybe heard it mentioned. I don't want to take full credit for it. I feel like somebody in one of the retics group maybe I heard it in passing on a post or something like that. I don't want to take full credit for the idea. Yeah, it's highly likely that it was just scanning through some posts and it was like, oh, there's an idea.
Was it one of Garrett's real tangled ideas?
No, that definitely wasn't one of Garrett's, because he would have, reminded me a million times by now that it was his idea.
Okay. So here's a question for you, Matt. So you have crocodile skinks, leopard geckos. You have, I don't know how many retics. I know you have the hog nose and other things. What do you mostly focus on breeding wise? Like, what's up, Hardwick?
Hog noses.
I was going to say, I can answer that for him. Everybody knows that.
Because, I mean, that's like 95% or 90% of your IG. I mean, I kind of knew, but like maybe there was something you were working on that you don't like to tell people. I don't know.
Yeah, tell us the things you don't want to tell us, Matt. That's what I want to hear about.
You want to hear the things I don't tell people? No, I tell people everything they want to know. It's just the hog nose is really, that's my main focus.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So here's a question for both of you.
Uh-oh.
And I'll let Kusko go, and then Matt, you could go.
I was going to say, I'm going to answer first no matter what happens. I was going to assert my dominance in the chat.
What is your favorite drink and cigar you have had on the Whiskey Wimps?
On the Whiskey Wimps? Well, we only had cigar on one episode publicly to date. Okay. Correct, Matthew? Okay. Is that correct? One whiskey cigar pairing so far. There may or may not be one coming. Oh. But what was it? That's a good question. It was Cooper's Craft, and I had a was that the T52? Did you bring? No. You had the Plasencia, and I had you had the Plasencia Almafuerte. I had the Perez Carrillo Pledge, and we had Cooper's Craft. I mean, it's the same answer for Matt. It's the only time we've had cigar and whiskey on the Whiskey Wimps. Yeah. That was it.
Okay. What about you, Matt? What was your favorite drink?
Is he getting a different question?
I guess
because that definitely wasn't my favorite of all time. That's just the only time on the Whiskey Wimps we did.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like during the Whiskey Wimps, I mean, what was your favorite drink on the show?
You want to know my favorite drink on the Whiskey Wimps?
Correct.
That'd be the George T. Stag. Yeah, that. And I'm not being biased because I bought that bottle.
Oh, but you picked, but no, wait, hold on. But blind, you picked the William LaRue Weller.
I know, but.
So what are you talking about, son?
I still go back to it. I can change my feelings, Brian.
No, that's the whole idea of doing it blind, is to find out what you really like without looking at what the bottle is or having any bias. You picked William LaRue Weller out of those four whiskeys.
Out of those four whiskeys, yeah.
Yeah, but George T. Stagg was one of the four that he put in second place.
Don't talk to me, Brian.
It's a good thing I'm here so I can answer Matt's questions truthfully for him.
I'm going to go get myself another
bottle. He's back already.
So I'm actually going to go herping here soon with Brian Gundy, and I was curious if Mr. Kusko or Matt would like to go.
Herping with Brian Gundy? I always want to go herping with Brian Gundy. If I could wake up every morning and start my day herping with Brian Gundy, that would be a pretty decent living there, I think, I think so. Matt, I don't know if you've ever herped with Brian Gundy, but you would definitely fit right in. Brian Gundy is one of the most exceptional human beings on this planet that I've ever had the privilege of sharing space with, man. That guy is a special person. Like,
I met him once at a show in Sacramento, and he was an awesome dude.
Yeah. He's a special guy, that man. There's never a time when I don't want to go herping with Brian Gundy.
That'd be my answer. I've herped with Brian before. It's boring.
I don't.
Are you trying to think of the time we did go herping?
No. I'm trying to think of the truth to that answer to that question, or the truth to your statement. the thing you got to realize is that some of the percent, this is Matt's own words, some of the percentage of the things that Matt says are bullshit. This is something he has professed, but you have to take a guess at what it is. Supposedly there's a 95-5 ratio. He claims 95 truth, 5% bullshit. Yeah. But it's like, you know, I don't know if that's accurate.
I don't know if that's accurate.
That statistic could have been part of the 5%. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Wow, I see you just found a loophole in my statement.
So question: when you're drinking the whiskey, right? Like, and you smell
Don't put it in shot glasses, by the way.
Well, that's all I got, so I had to use it. But like, when you smell it, like.
Well, here, I'll tell you the scientific reason behind what Matt is saying. If you really want to get the full experience, a glass that has more of a tulip shape, it doesn't have to be this exact glass. It doesn't have to be any type of glass other than it has to be tulip shaped. And the reason is it builds up in the wide part of the glass and then funnels this way so that it directs the vapors towards your nose. In a glass that's open like that, it spreads out and kind of goes past your nose and you miss the completion of the entire, you know, we're going full nerd here. If we're talking about full, like you really want to get the most possible experience out of it, then you need a glass that has a tulip shape for that reason. That's why.
Okay. Rose, mostly what you're doing is getting the ethanol straight to your nose.
Because that's all I'm smelling. Yeah.
Yeah, glass has a big thing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What is that, by the way?
Pendleton, whatever.
Okay.
Pendleton. I don't know.
Dude,
I normally drink the beer. I don't normally drink the whiskey. But being my birthday, having the whiskey wimps on, pretty much, I could not say no. I told the wife so.
Is there something on my face you guys didn't tell me about? What's going on over there?
Yeah.
Dude, Matt, this is pretty decent. We need to do a lineup at some point with old number 7 and just see how it lines up against some of these other jacks. We should do that. Don't make that face. When was the last time you had old number 7?
When I was in high school.
Yeah, so see what I'm saying? Yeah, I think me too. So we got to like go back, at least without Coke. I mean, that was the last time I remember. Definitely had a Jack and Coke since high school, but yeah, high school I think was the last time. We used to just pass it around in the creek until the bottle was gone.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, I'll consider it. I'll put it in the suggestion box.
Because this is great. This Sinatra Select, dude. It's not the nose. I haven't drank it yet, but the nose is doing me some good.
So, question for Matt: how long does it take to incubate? Because I know it's not the same as ball pythons for the hognose.
How long does it take to incubate? About 55 days.
Oh, so
same.
Okay, I did not know that because I mean, I don't have.
There's a different temperature than ball pythons, but same length. So hognoses are at 82 degrees. I'm pretty sure ball pythons were 88, 87. I'm not a ball python person, so I'm not gonna pretend like I know that.
How dare you, sir?
I mean, everyone has like, and Kusko could agree or disagree with me, but everyone has their own cutting date. Like some people cut on day 54. Some get
some people don't cut at all.
Correct. I mean, like, oh no, you just okay. That's cool. I mean, I don't know. Like, hognose have like the egg, right? But like it's longer.
Everyone has it in the egg too, or at least.
Right.
Well, they'd be stuck in that egg for life or death.
But I go, natural, really.
Okay.
What's your reason, Matt? Why do you not cut eggs? I'd love to know.
I mean, like personally for me is from my experience, really, the ones that I have tried to cut to save, there's been something wrong inside the egg. Like either they're deformed, kinks, or they just don't do well at all. They come out like super really tiny and just don't have the energy or any type of natural instinct to want to survive. So personally for me, like with the amount of eggs that I produce yearly, it's just, if they can't make it out of the egg, there's nothing much I can do really. Yeah.
My worry about cutting beforehand, like I used to not cut at all. But now it's kind of like I have, because there's some that never came out of the egg and I was like, what's going on? And whatever happened there. But I'll also, after a few start, and some are like late bloomers, I'll wait sometime, you know, or maybe give a little tiny slice. My fear in cutting, especially before I've never cut anything before anything pipped. Like I said, I used to do just strictly let them come out on their own 100%. But my fear in like cutting, first of all, I think cutting like at day 54 is just impatient and you just want to see what's happening, which the danger in that I think is if you can maybe cause a problem by cutting sooner than they're ready to come out, and like, and I would hate to, you know, be responsible for causing a problem that wasn't there by doing that.
Yeah. No, I've done the same thing too. Like I said, like day 55 is usually the day they start to hatch. But then I've been one of those guys where like it's day 56, I'm starting to sweat bullets because nothing's happening and I'm starting to get nervous. And then it took them to days like 64, 65, and then all of a sudden they started, you know, popping out.
You know, a cool technique I learned from Jesse, and we made a video about it when he did, because he learned this technique from his dad, where you just like grab a little bit of the egg, like what some people do when they like pinch it before they get a little snip. He just does that and grabs it and pinches it and then does like a rip.
Okay.
Like literally fingers, just 2 fingers, like gets that little pinch mark and just goes. Whoosh. And the thing that it does is that it creates a perfect line. First of all, like it's more perfect than any cut you could ever make. What ends up happening, like the physicality of the egg and the way it happens, and then it doesn't break any blood vessels. Like it leaves all the blood vessels intact.
Really?
Pretty interesting, yeah. And then you can literally set it back down. It almost looks like the egg hasn't even been cut or messed with at all. And like I said, you don't cut the blood vessels for whatever reason. The way you pinch and pull it apart like that, it's like opens from the outside, and all those parts separate before, you know. Whereas you stick a blade in, like it cuts across the blood vessels, and they get cut and don't get a chance to get out of the way.
Right.
Pretty interesting technique. He's the only person I've ever seen do that in my life, and he learned it from his dad, who's obviously been doing it since, you know.
I wonder if that would work on a smaller egg like a hognose. I don't know how I'd do it.
Yeah, it'd have to be at the point when, because, you know, obviously a ball python egg, I've never watched a hognose egg, but I imagine does it start to dimple in and start to become get a little more play? Not so much.
Not so much. No, like sometimes like it still looks like it's plumped up like a balloon.
Yeah, so that would make it much more difficult to do, especially on a smaller egg too, you know.
Yeah.
Good discussion, Matthew.
Okay. So we're gonna go back in the day again, Kusko.
Back in the day when I was young and not a kid anymore, but some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Oh, it's a good jam.
You remember Snakes in the Grass? So my favorite episode was Margie, because of the positive message you gave in the beginning of that video about communication. Of course, seeing Margie as well.
Margie.
Remember that video? Margie, sorry. Do you remember that video at all?
Yeah, I remember a specific clip of her going up, and like she's doing a little periscope thing, and I was shooting with a GoPro at that point for the Snakes in the Grass. But yeah, I don't remember the message.
It was actually about communication within talking to each other. You were saying online that basically when you say something, there's no tone behind of what you're reading compared to.
Oh, you mean like typing, like text,
Correct.
Text chat? Oh yeah. I've said that a bunch of times. That just because it's true.
It is though. It's easy to read something, but you don't know the true tone of voice or tone behind it, right? Even
this is obviously light years beyond being able to do, you know, beyond typing. You hear some inflections in the voice, but like I can't smell you guys. I don't see, like there's these little triggers. Well, there are. There's I can see that, and I know it probably stinks, but I can't know for sure. It's just like a screen. There's no vibe. Like there's these little subtle things that you miss through a video chat, which is why. As soon as I could, I stopped doing these on the channel because I just didn't like it. I just preferred being with somebody in person. I can like read their eyes and like see actually into their soul, whereas through the camera, there's still a disconnect. As great as this technology is.
Yeah, I agree. So I see. Okay, so I had Dan Mullery on, not too long ago. Hopefully, I didn't butcher his last name. DM Exotics. And I actually saw that he was like throughout a lot of your stuff, Triple B TV or on just Brian Kusko a little bit, I think. And
well, I think I've only really ever had. Well, maybe it is on a Brian Kusko channel, but if I was doing like a show, like running around the show or something, it could have been. But yeah, Dan's Dan's a staple on Triple Beat TV. Every time I'm at a show with Dan, he comes on because he's one of those dudes, man. He's one of those guys.
So, he's a cool dude. Once again, I've had him on, and gonna have him on again soon. We made a date already. But while of all the snakes he showed you, what was probably your favorite snake? For me, that dragon snake was kick ass.
Yeah, that video did very well too. Dragon snake looks so incredible. The size. When you just see a picture of it, because often people take macro pictures of it because otherwise you can't really see the detail. Like if you took a wide angle picture of a dragon snake, you're like, where is it? But they're so tiny, especially the one he had was, a baby. Like he's basically trying to get started on tadpoles. The unfortunate thing about those is I don't think nobody's really producing them in captivity because they're so hard to keep alive. It's like you basically, at least all the ones that I've heard of, which are just a few, people get them and then basically can't get them to thrive in captivity. So that's a bummer, but they're definitely intriguing looking snakes. If you ever wanted, you've seen them, Matt. They're freaking,
yeah.
Like how epic is it? Looks like a freaking crocodile or alligator had a baby with a snake. That's super cool. Super cool.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So, question for both of you.
Oh, but the favorite thing he brought on one time is he had these bags. I had him on Triple one, and he was on in the morning at the show, and the burrito. He busted out these burritos in the snake bags, and was like, "Here, let's eat these."
I was laughing my ass off when I saw that. I was like, really? Like I was waiting for a steak, and then no, 2 burritos. So, in your own words, for both of you, can you tell us what started the Whiskey Wimps?
Well, let me speak for Matt. We were just sitting around one night and drinking whiskey. Surprise, surprise. And I don't even remember why. I don't remember what we were up to. We were just hanging out or something. Like you were up in the area for whatever reason, and just like came by, and we were. I think I was doing the bachelor life at that point. Like the family was. I don't know where the family was. Like they went down to Long Beach or something like that. Something. We were definitely having a bachelor night because I was definitely singing like loudly well into the time when kids would have been sleeping. There was a lot of loud singing, like Rebel Yell. I never sang it before or after, I don't think, but that's how I know we're having a good time. So when I sing songs and play guitar, songs that I've never done before and that I've never done after that time either. So we're like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was my idea. I could be wrong about that completely. But I was like, we should film this and do a YouTube channel, right? Am I wrong? Did I come up with the idea?
I was just thinking that it was kind of both. We both kind of came up with it. I think you thought about it starting with a new YouTube channel of drinking, and I was like, I'd like to do one about whiskey.
And I think before the night was even over, I already replaced Matt with my grandma. Okay. I had the idea of
it was the same night that you were like, maybe I can have my grandma do it with me.
She still never. She still hasn't. She has still not come on to date, dude. But she is gonna be here.
Stay on, by the way.
Yeah. My grandma's a very nice lady.
Nicer than you. I don't know. That's way nice. Your tree.
Oh, dude, you should see her. You should see her when she has an opinion about something, though. She does no hesitation to let whoever it is know. I remember walking across the street to a bunch of my hoodlum friends growing up, just letting everybody have it. And another time when there's this park ranger, we're all at the lake, and we do a trick where we kind of pull down the walking path because there's really nobody there at the point we're packing up, and load the car up right there. And then this other family saw us do that, and they're like, "Oh, that's a great idea!" So they did it. And a ranger saw them, didn't see us, I guess, but he saw them, and he went speeding across the grass, to go tell them, "No, you can't do that." And my grandma, you see her put her hands in her pockets and start walking over. I was like, "Uh-oh." And she just lets this ranger, because he was, to be fair, there was no reason for him to speed across the grass with a bunch of, with a couple families around to go tell them they can't. They're just parked. It's not like they were engaging in any. He created a danger by speeding across this grass, and she went over there, just was like, "There is absolutely no reason for you to be speeding across this grass. There's nothing happening over here. This is great." And she's just and he's just sits back and you can tell. I mean, she's one of those ladies, you know what I mean? That like.
I know. I met her, and man, she told me like, don't let him talk to you that way. You tell him.
She's gonna be here. She's gonna be here later this week. I should have her on. I should have her on finally because it's been a whole dude. We've had a year now of the Whiskey Wimps, and she never like. My cousins come on, my uncle, my dad have come on, Hillary's come on, but no grandma yet.
I'll talk to my agent. And we'll prove it.
Right.
So, if you guys could have a drink of whiskey with anyone, who would you want to have a drink with? That you have.
Matt Bernardin.
I was to say Brian Kusko.
Yeah, we definitely have some good times.
Yeah, we do. I was gonna say like honestly like it would be Brian. Like I've had plenty of drinks with plenty of other people. So far, he's my favorite.
Okay.
So far, I said so far.
Give it time. Give it time.
No. If it was somebody though, like besides each other that you've never drank with, would there?
Well, then I don't want to drink with somebody I don't know.
Well, I mean, maybe have a drink with Kerry King.
Kerry King doesn't drink.
Yeah,
I'm just okay, not.
Or at least not. Well, at least not anymore. I don't think. Yeah. How about a recovering alcoholic? That sounds good.
What? Slayer, man, like, come on.
Recovering alcoholic.
Like all of Metallica.
You want Metallica? I go White Zombie.
Okay.
I don't know if Rob Zombie drinks anymore either.
Well, maybe he's a recovering alcoholic too. I don't know, but he's in the. Was it fall off the wagon?
There's a bunch of funny enough. The next person I thought of was Ted Nugent because he was on Rogan recently. I was like, that seems like a cool guy to have a drink with, but he also doesn't drink. Yeah. All these guys are thinking of like they don't drink anymore, or they're recovering alcoholics, and they're doing the whole 12-step thing. So you can't be. Man, what about Donald Trump? That'd be pretty interesting, probably.
Trump, huh? Okay.
Maybe he doesn't drink either. I don't know.
He could have. Maybe he's on the wagon.
How about Biden? We just sit there and be like he's drunk already. This is ridiculous. What are we doing here?
So, what was your favorite moment for both of you so far while on the Whiskey Wimps? Was there a single moment that you were like, wow, this was like amazing?
Amazing, or
well, like maybe doing it with a guest, or something. Whatever. Well, I would count Kusko's wife and a few other people.
Oh yeah. The time I had on Hillary, that was definitely the most amazing.
There's
time.
A few people. Hey, it still counts because the show's supposed to be you two, not
I was gonna let Matt answer first this time.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ooh, look at this dude.
No, is that no?
What's that?
That's Coy Hill.
Sample somebody sent me.
Sample somebody sent us. And send it to the wrong person.
Yeah.
It was supposed to go to you.
It definitely was not supposed to go to him. See, this is where that 5% bullshit comes into play every time.
No, this is someone who sent to someone who couldn't be trusted.
Okay.
I haven't even opened it yet.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Let it stay that way. Anyways, my favorite moment. Oh, it was probably when you threw the granny bottle. Yes, that's
also my favorite moment. Still, it will always be my favorite moment. It was just like the audacity, like that was pure. Like people, it was just a pure moment of like, just I was incredulous and I was like, really, dude? And I was like, no, you like I was so frustrated that you didn't understand what was happening. I was like, no, just it's.
Granny's gone. Oh man.
There's some other people's favorite moments too. Like when I like some other fans. We have a couple people that like watch every single episode and always leave a comment. And it's pretty awesome. It's cool little.
Oh man,
it's some good fun.
My favorite moment. Granny's gone. Fling.
I know we totally just went like this is super inside joke. I know we didn't really answer. Like you're probably still sitting there wondering what the hell is happening.
No, I'm just enjoying my time. To be honest with you, it's my birthday. I'm happy.
We were tasting Snickers.
What? Say again?
I was saying, explain it.
Explain what?
The Granny's gone.
Oh man, that's such a. It's so long if I'd have to do it like that. We'd have to like have the clip pulled up and ready to go with like a show like the pure look of like disgust and just incredulity on my face as I like looked at you and was like, phew, and just threw the bottle behind my back off into the distance of the hill. It's not gonna. The story doesn't matter without that clip. I don't think.
Yeah, but oh man, that's still my favorite bottle of Booker's.
So I do have a photo to show you, Kusko, and I was wondering if you could explain it. Hopefully, it comes in big.
Oh yeah, that lady stuck a snake in her nose and had it come out her mouth.
And
then she kind of went back and forth with it like this, like a little thread, like she was flossing with the snake between her nose. That was disgusting.
I was shocked to see that. That was like the beginning of the video. I was like, what the hell? I had to rewatch it like 5 times.
They were doing some pretty wild stuff. Those guys that were working with the forest cobra on the stage, that was pretty, like you could tell these guys spend like all day working with snakes. Like that was those forest cobras are fast. Wow, that's some intense stuff to watch.
That was pretty gnarly. That was crazy, man. When I saw that like made me. I was like, how the hell? Like that would just make me gag. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, I mean, it's just same like people do like sword swallowing and deep throating and all that stuff. Like and it's a practiced art. I think you just get used to it or whatever.
Okay. I guess yeah. So here's a question for both of you. Now, I'm going to word this in my own words that I hope the best way.
I want to see you word it in somebody else's words. That would be really impressive.
No, that'd be really crappy. So like, okay, my second favorite hobby is college football. Okay, I'm a huge fan of college football.
Barcelona or UK?
I'm careful about what you say is your favorite team, by the way.
Or Brazil or UK?
College football?
No, sorry, Brazil or Barcelona. That's I think that's what it's up to at this point.
Wait, what?
I don't know what he's talking about.
I'm like, what is? So like, in college football, the top 4 teams make it. So
college ball hasn't been big since 1957.
Yeah, Brian's not on our channel anymore.
Who are your top 4 breeders that you both pay attention to?
Breeders? We just jump out of football and go right to breeders?
I was getting ready to do college football and I'm gonna be like, whoo.
UCLA.
UCLA, that's the.
I'll accept it. Brian, you go first.
I just did UCLA.
He went breeders. He remember he did a little switcheroo.
Oh, we jumped out of the football question?
Yeah, we went.
I thought it was going to be an important one. Oh.
I'd like to see Cincinnati whoop Alabama's ass. That'd be nice, but we all know that's not going to happen.
Breeders. I'm going to go with my mom and dad and my grandparents. Or I could just say,
awesome.
I guess both sets of grandparents. If I'm limited to 4, we'll go with both sets of grandparents and then give mom and dad the booby prize.
I think he meant a reptile breeders, Brian.
Yes.
Just based off the ball python love.
We're about to talk about football, so I don't know. We've been talking about whiskey half the night. Like, Justin Kabilka, Garrett Hartle, Brian Barczyk, and Matt Bernardin.
Down there. Matt's all, yes. Got number 4. Matt, what about you?
All right. JMG Reptiles, Brent Baumgartner, Brian Kusko.
Man, you hear the disdain? I'm just saying it because he said me.
Well, hey, you already know the first ball python I'm buying is yours.
Believe it when I see it, Mr. 95%.
Like that what was it, that sunset I wanted to buy?
Oh, you know, I got a Gravid Sunset right now.
Nice.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, don't save me an egg. And it'd be Brian Barczyk.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is really cool. I'll actually say my personal 4 would probably go Barczyk, Billy for Mutation Creation. I like Kusko's work, and then I really love Miguel. The AAP's killing shit. I'm sorry, Matt. I was talking about ball python breeders.
Oh man, he came back again. Dude, that Jack ain't half bad, dude. I'm telling you right now.
When you come over next week, this one is really good. You're gonna like it. The experimental, like new, like you really get the apple in it. I really think you're gonna like it.
Okay.
So I would like to know. I asked your favorite drink so far on the whiskey wimps. What was your least favorite, Matt? Was it the rye for you?
Oh wait, you asked, but to be fair, you asked me cigar whiskey pairing favorite. So the Cooper's Craft was far from the favorite. It's all right. Sorry.
What was your favorite on the show? And then we'll ask that question.
George T. Stagg.
George T. Stagg. What was your least favorite?
Gonna run away with it?
Twice.
I'm gonna have that bottle under lock and key when you come over.
It's probably smart.
So least favorite now?
Yes.
Oh, least favorite on the channel?
Yeah.
Oh, that Caribou Crossing. Blah.
Hey, what's wrong with Canadian?
I like some of those older Canadian rye. Do that 27-year Canadian rye, that 14-year. What?
Are we going straight whiskey, or does it have to be that?
Anything that you've had on the
Rye is whiskey, bro.
No, how about that non-whiskey, the non-alcoholic thing that you force fed me?
Oh, that wasn't whiskey though. That was a whiskey substitute.
Oh, whoa.
That was travesty. That's what that was. All right, going for another one. We're opening a new one.
By the way, I have one of their stickers if you want it.
Who?
Nice.
Girl. Ooh, could you hear that?
I actually heard that clear.
Dang.
No, mine would be Dickel.
Oh, dude. I traded that copper tongue out to somebody for 4 different bottles. It was a NASA Family Reserve, some other store pick, and a couple other things. Somebody traded me that for 4 other bottles. So
that Dickel? Oh my god, that was
the copper tongue, the lost orphan, or the orphan barrel, which was Dickel.
Yeah, but there's only been a couple times I've made faces on the whiskey wimps, and that was one of them. That Dickel was just the worst I've ever had in my mouth.
Okay.
Oh.
That's fun. Oh, hey.
Because when I saw you drink that rye, the 100% rye or whatever, and you had the 2 different bottles in front of you, and you look like you didn't like that one so much. So I was like, maybe the rye.
I'm not much of a rye person, anyways. But the last episode, or what was it, about 2 weeks ago, that we had that rye, it wasn't too bad. But
yeah, that's some high. Oh, there must be light whiskey in this. What the hell is that?
Snake got out. No.
no,
Something going on. There's a little Dickel in this bottle.
yeah.
There is. There must be. It's Tennessee, Kentucky, and Indiana blended up in this piece. It's a store pick from Total Wine. It's got the it's their BAIC blender. That means it's a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys. We got a 45% of it is a 5-year, 25% of it is a 10-year, another 25% of it is a 14-year, and then 5% of it is a 16-year. I'm willing to bet that 5% is the Dickel, and that's fine. If it's just 5%, I think we'll be okay.
I'm not a fan of the Dickel.
Damn. So how is it breeding the crocodiles skinks? Is that a challenge?
Oh yeah. That's a challenge and a half, dude.
Can you go a little in depth with it?
Sure. So they pair up. They don't like being swapped over pairs. It takes them about 6 or 7 months after you paired them up for them to start attempt to try to lay eggs. You can't go 2 females to a male. You need to have a constant good rainy season in order for them to want to lay eggs. They stress easily. Any type of stress will kill them.
Okay. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's not one of those lizards you can put on your shoulder and kind of hang out with. This is one of those lizards that you set up in a bioactive enclosure and just leave them alone.
Now, do you attribute that to a lack of interaction in captivity to date, or just the way that species is, and there's really no way to break them out of that?
I think it's the way that species is. I mean, they are crepuscular, so they only come out, during early sunrise and then sunset, really. So their interactions with the world are minimal already. So they spend most of their times inside of a coconut hide. So a lot of their territory has been deforested and then replanted with palm trees and coconuts. So like it's actually in this case, deforestation has actually helped the species out because they love to hide in that stuff. So when all those coconut fronds just kind of fall down, it makes a natural hide for them, which is perfect. And that place is naturally kind of wet. So they're actually thriving in the wild. But, all those palm fronds fall on the ground, which creates a lot of different hiding spaces for them. But they love to be hidden. And they're very vocal skinks.
What's the average egg drop? What's the average that you're gonna clutch? Just one?
One. They lay one at a time, and they'll maybe lay 1 or 3 eggs a year. Damn. But these guys will also take years off too. I've had a couple pairs in here where you'll get 1 egg or to get 3 eggs out of them a year, and then they'll take 3 years off and then not lay anything, which is the main reason why you don't see many of them being captive bred, because it's just there's no rhyme or reason why they don't do it every single year.
Okay. So is Mr. Brian Kusko excited for his 2022 breeding season?
Yeah, I am actually quite excited. We just had our first clutch for the 22 hatchling season. Came home to it today, so that's fun.
Nice.
Congrats. What was the pairing?
You have to watch the video coming out on the channel pretty soon. So I'll say it's a female that I'll say this is a female that has not produced, but she's been here. Not for lack of me not wanting to produce with her, but I've been raising her for the past 7 years. and this is her first clutch.
As long as I get my clown this year, I'll be happy.
Clown? Oh yeah, we got you covered on the clown for sure, dude. Got some got the pastel Enchi clown going to the scaleless head pastel clown. So clown guaranteed in that pair. And she's got some huge follicles. I don't see her reabsorbing. It would be amazing if she reabsorbed.
Okay. So one last question before we end this, because we almost hit an hour. For both of you, what is something you could leave behind to somebody that is watching this 4 years down the road, whatever it may be, and they're just now getting into reptiles? It could be ball pythons, skinks, whatever it may be, hog noses like Matt. What is something positive you could leave behind for them?
Don't watch us.
Don't watch us.
Because we're all tapped out of positive energy. We put it all out there. There's no more. Don't breed. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
Okay. I mean, if that's the answer, okay. Cool.
I wouldn't say that.
I mean, ask lots of questions. I mean, do what you like. It sounds so ridiculous and easy, but it's so easy to get influenced by all the things you see out there. Go deep down in your heart and soul and find out what it is that you really like. And block out all the noise, because there's a lot of it, especially if you're out there looking around. There's a ton of noise, and it's almost impossible to block out. So it sounds simple, do what you like, but it's actually really a good amount of work in today's world where there's so much coming at you all the time. Go out, do what you need to do to find that quiet space in your head and heart to find out what it is that you really want to do, regardless of any outside influences, and find that and do that.
And I guess for me is, like I would say, don't chase the money. Money will come. Do what you're passionate about, because if you're not passionate about it, no one else is going to be passionate about it. There's no way you can excite anyone else about what gets you excited if you're not truly passionate about it. If you're just in it for the money, then you're not going to sell anything, to be honest. And you won't be happy.
That's true.
I think there's more than 5% Dickel in there, dude.
More than 5% Dickel.
Then that bottle's yours. I don't want anything to do with that.
But if you two don't mind staying just for a minute longer when I end this, everybody that's watched tonight, thank you for showing up on my birthday. I truly appreciate it. The show is over. If you guys are just now tuning in, watch it from the beginning. I appreciate it. Share the shit out. Till next time, I'll see you guys Wednesday with round 2 with Troy from Best Dressed Balls. You guys have a good night.
Oh, Troy's awesome.